Hello everyone, welcome to my blog, TechHub blog. Today we are going to discuss access modifiers in Python. So there are three types of access modifiers: public access modifier, protected, and private access modifier. One by one, we will discuss each of them. Now, what is access modifier? First of all, access modifiers are used to modify the access of the class member variables and methods from outside the class. So that means it defines how the class member variables and the methods are accessible from outside the class. The first type of access modifier is public access modifier. That means the member variables and methods of the public access modifier are accessible from anywhere in the program. Okay. By default, all the attributes and methods in Python classes are public unless explicitly modified. So if it is not mentioned whether it is public, private, or protected. So by default, it will be public, the variables and methods, and it can be accessed from anywhere in the program. Let's see through the example. Let's try to run this program and see what is the output. Now here we have class animal, and inside the class we have a constructor having parameters as name and home, and we are setting the attributes as self.name equal to name and self.home equal to home. So they are public attributes, they are public variables because it is not mentioned whether it is private or protected. Now, since this is a method and it is printing the name and the home, since there is no access modifier is mentioned here, so that means it will be public. By default, it is public. Now we are creating the animal class, world animal equal to animal lion deer. So we are passing lion as the name and home as the den. So name will be home and home will be name will be lion and home will be 10. Now we are printing wild animal dot home. That means object name dot name. That means wild element dot name. We have passed the lion and here it will print the name as the lion. And the second is wild animal dot home and the name will home will be den. So it will when we print now it will print name as lion and home as den. In this here we are calling the display data method and this method should print self.name, that means lion lives in den. Let's run this program. So here you can see first when we are printing the print statement we have print the name as lion and home will be 10, and through this object name dot method name we have print lion lives in den. Now let's talk about second type of access modifier, that is protected access modifier. Here the member variables and methods of the protected access modifiers are only accessible within the class where it is declared and its subclass. So that means they will only be accessible within the class or through its subclass. Protected methods are indicated by a single underscore before the variable or the method name. If it is a variable, then it will be underscore, and if it is a method name, that before that it should be underscore. Then it will signify that it will be a protected access modifier. Let us try to understand through this example. Let me clear the screen first. Now, here we can see we have a animal class and this is a constructor. And since we can see here before the name variable we have underscore, before the home variable we have underscore. So that means name and home variables are protected attributes. And also in the method display data we have before the name it is there is underscore. So that means this is also a protected method. And remember, protected methods can only be accessible within the class or in the subclasses. Now here we have declared an object of animal class. Object name is wild animal, and we have passed the lion as the name and Dan as the home. Now here we are trying to print print the protected members. Now here we can see we are printing the object name dot name and object name dot home. We are printing the value of the name and home attributes. And here we are calling the protected method. Let's try to run this program. So here you can see the name is printed as lion and home will be den. And in the display data field, lion lives in den. This is printed here. Now let's try to understand third type of access modifier, which is private access modifier. Here the member variables and methods of the private access modifiers are only accessible within the class. Private access modifier is the most accurate access modifier. Private members are indicated by double underscores before the variable or the method name. So they are indicated by double underscores before the method name or the variable names. And they are only accessible within the class only, not outside the class. Okay, so let's try to run the program and see through this example. Let us understand through this example first. Let me copy this statements. Now here we have a class animal and this is a constructor. Since here it is double underscore, so they are private attributes. And in the method name, before the method name, we have double underscores. So that means this will be private method. Now we have instantiated the class. Now let's try to remove these comments and see what is the output here. Since here we are just trying to access the private variables directly. So let's see what is the output here. Let me clear the screen first. Now here you can see we have received an error, attribute error. ML object has no attribute dot underscore underscore name. Since that was an a name and home both are private attributes, so they will not be accessible outside the class. Now if we try to access them through the method display data, which is also private, let's see if it is accessible or not. Let me comment this code first. Okay, let's clear the screen also. Now here you can see that again we have got the error at line 19. That means this error, and it is an attribute error. Animal object has no attribute underscore underscore display data, so it is not able to access the display data method as well. So the private access modifiers are not accessible outside the class. If we call them outside the class, it will give attribute error. So I hope you are able to understand the concept of access modifiers. If you have any doubt or queries, please do comment in the comment section. There is my YouTube channel TechHub blog, so you can go there and I will upload the video here and you can post your comments if you have any query and doubt. Also, please do subscribe and like and share my channel. That will give me motivation to create more such videos. Thank you for your time. Thank you.